Good morning. It's Monday morning. We are here. We are hoping to be here anyway. As usual, we're having all sorts of adventures with Google Hangouts. And, that's just part of the deal. But it's still Monday morning, which means Monday Momentum is here to help you get your week started, kick yourself maybe in the rear a little bit to get up and going. Because when you work from home, when you have a small business, when it's just you and you're wearing all those different hats, sometimes we get a little bit off track. Sometimes we get distracted by things like, for me, it's always the laundry. I don't know. I'd rather do the laundry than work. At any rate, but that's why we're here, because we want you to have a really good week. And we're assuming that you treat things just like a traditional business week. Monday through Friday, you work. Saturday and Sunday, you work less. And we want you to start that week off with a bang. So today, I have a special guest, Millie Weaver, with me. And this is her first hangout, so we're going to be really nice and gentle. But she's been a real trooper in learning how to do this. And she's going to be joining me regularly. That's my hope and plan at any rate. We're going to talk today about the need for all of us, perhaps, in business to make sure that we have some credit, some business credit in case we need it. Most of us these days, I think, are kind of, I don't want credit anymore. Maybe we already have used too much and we have a little bit of debt or a lot of debt. And the last thing that, at least for me, that I want is more debt. However, let's say your business gets up and running and really roars, and all of a sudden you need to expand into China and get a factory up and running to produce 10,000 more products than you had planned for. You might need some money to do that. And one way to get it is by having business credit. So, Millie, maybe I blew it completely. You're going to tell us all something different. But why don't you come in and say hi to everyone and we'll get started.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's Monday. Okay, so, yeah, right. Okay, so can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine. So tell us, did I say anything right about business credit? Is that sort of, at least in a nutshell, why we should care? Why should we care?
Yes. Okay, so it should be done at the very beginning of building a business, but often they don't really realize the importance of personal credit until they find the house of their dreams, and then they want to go and qualify for a house. It's the same thing. You should do personal credit before you go and find a house of your dreams. So business credit is one of the first things that you should do when you're building your business credit and building your business up. The first, just a few principles that I think will make it easier. Business credit is kind of one of those things that you should look at as like building a protect yourself, the assets of your company. So when we're building our company, one of the first things you should do is that kind of takes the liability away from yourself, and you're also building that corporate entity within your company that every business should have.
It sure does, and I'm celebrating internally because I've done that. Yay! And I know that business credit is not something I've done. So, I mean, to me, the experience of growing a business, and it may be similar for a lot of our viewers, since a lot of them are solopreneurs. I sort of fell into it, backed into it. I'm almost feeling like a lot of the times I'm playing catch up, like, oh, I should have done that. I didn't know. And so when you say, when you start a business, the first thing you should do is incorporate, and the second thing might be start working on your business credit. I think there's people out there that didn't kind of know they were starting a business, or they just started doing stuff for people and getting paid for it, and then it became a service, and then they got business cards. And so before we go too much further with the person that has the plan and knows what they're doing from the beginning, for those of us who didn't, tell us, can we be saved? Or is it too late?
You can't.
Forget it. You didn't do it right from the beginning, so okay, that's what I meant.
No. One of the first things that's important in business, whether you fall into it or if you're following a plan, is to remember what Covey would say: begin with the end in mind. One of the major mistakes that business owners make is that they don't have an exit plan. So whether you've fallen into it, if you're in business, the first thing you should do is just remember that you're going to have an exit plan. You may be in love with your business, but none of us lives forever. You know, we want to retire, we want to have a good time later, or we want to pass it on to someone we know, love, and trust to run the legacy of our business. So with that, we have to realize that building business credit within the company is for here and now. It's for the end in mind. So if you've fallen into it, let's just take it from that angle, okay? We'll just hit it with you're a business owner, you just own MasterCard, you've maybe even pulled some money out of your house to start your business. That's a very common mistake. So let's rectify that. The first thing you would do, like we just said, is you would incorporate a layer of protection. The second, then to start building business based totally on your business and does not have any attachment to your personal social security card or any finances that you may have that you've already put out under your name. What you need to do at this point is the business so that you can convert loans into business loans and therefore taking the yourself. So it sounds like a big, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's something going on a little bit with your sound, which happens sometimes on Hangouts, and I just want to clarify what you know. Nothing to worry about. It's just that last bit was important, and I don't think that. I mean, I didn't quite hear it, so nobody else probably did either. So I think what you said is that, you know, if we're playing cleanup and catch up, first thing, incorporate if we haven't done it. Second thing is to begin to build a business profile within our, business credit profile within our business. So it's away from our social, it's away from our house, our own personal assets, all that stuff. And then I think you said there's a way to begin to move whatever loans we might have taken out to grow this business that were personal under our business. Is that what you said? Because that's the last part that got garbled.
Yeah. Thank you for catching that. So yes, if you've got personal, can you hear me?
Yes, we're just fine.
Are you okay? Okay. Comes out, or you know, anything that cards, anything like that. What you would do is build your business profile, and once that has been built, you can convert those cards into corporate business cards and get to convert that personal loan, and therefore that makes it a business liability instead of a personal liability.
Fabulous. So we can't make the debt disappear necessarily, but now the business is responsible for paying it off versus me.
Right.
And therefore, if business fails, it's the business's problem, that debt, versus me having personal bankruptcy or whatever might happen. Not that I'm talking about me, you guys, because none of that's going to happen for any of us. But am I following you? Because, you know, this is your way of thinking and it's not mine. I like, you know, numbers are sort of somebody else needs to do those things for me. Sorry. But did I get it?
Yeah. Exactly. And like anything, it takes time, you know. When you're building a business, it's just like having a baby. It takes time to create that little baby. And but once you have built the business credit properly, the whole life of your company if you've managed it well. So it's like magic. It's really what courses, and we as entrepreneurs should be practicing it as well.
And I think maybe when you were talking about the exit strategy, that of course those of us who fell into business didn't necessarily even think that someday we might, you know we don't want to not do it forever, but we don't know that we need to plan for how is that going to happen. Let's say you're going to sell your company. Having a really great line of business credit, is that going to make your company easier to sell? I mean, and more valuable because whoever buys it has that as an asset? I mean,
Exactly.
Yay!
It's considered an asset. It is. And that's what the important thing to remember is that's why I say it's not just here for the here and now, but when someone comes in to look at your business, the first thing they're going to look at. And if you think about it, say position you're an investor or you're looking for a new business to, build up, you're going having that business credit already built really want because you're not going to have to do it yourself. It already comes with all the necessary things that a business would need to keep functioning once you step out of the major role.
Fabulous. So would you tell me, I mean, I imagine there are key points that you want to make sure you get in, so please, don't let me take you too far off track. But what are the biggest problems or obstacles that you see business owners sort of, do they delay, oh, that business credit thing, yeah, I know I'm supposed to do it, but I've got to do all these other things first. I mean, do you find it hard or challenging to get business owners to do this, to take the steps to build their credit because they don't think they need to, they just don't think they have time, they don't want to bother with it? What are the biggest obstacles for you in getting this message out and getting people to take some action?
I think for the most part, what I have found is that just entrepreneurs didn't know about business credit. And most of it is just, they just didn't know. So by the time they get to me, they want funding. It's just like they're visiting the realtor before they finances, trying to get that personal credit score up. So it's the same in the business. They need the funding, and they don't realize that lenders, creditors, they all look for certain things within a business, and you have to have it. It's kind of a formula, and it's to make you look credible. Things that you need that they're looking for, and it's very simple. Something that you want to build. It's like a structural foundation. You want your foundation to be very strong. The financial credit part of your company is key. Process. And so by the time they get to me, they need the money then, or they've become like what you were saying. They've already used a lot of their personal assets and personal resources, and so then they start to worry about their own personal liability. The thing with business credit that I wanted to point out is it's not just to get credit and funding, but it also alleviates the personal liability so you're not waking up in the middle of the night worried about things. But it also, when your business grows or needs to, you just have a situation come up and you're going to need money right away or more resources, business credit actually gives you the ability to get that far better than if you were just a lone person trying to get personal funding. So for some reason, banks especially are much more generous with businesses versus and loans, which we all know is very hard to get nowadays.
So you may be able to actually grow your business more easily if you take this one step.
Far easier. Yeah, they're yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, banks look as businesses. They are the economy is run by businesses. Velocity of banks towards businesses, they see that risk than say a personal person just coming into the bank looking for $50,000.
So what I'm hearing you say, I think at least in part, is that you may want to, well, that number one, that everybody that's in business should have business credit. It sounds like should be working on their business credit profile just in case, kind of. But that doing this work does not mean that you're going to go borrow money or that your business is even going to borrow money. It just means that you could if you needed to. And therefore, it's a preventative measure almost to prevent some kind of problem with growing your business because there's no cash and you need it now and you don't have it. And That's weird. Someone's calling me on Hangouts. Oh my god. Love Hangouts. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, I'm doing it. Well, I don't know how to anyway make it go away. Hopefully it'll stop. So it's not something you necessarily are going to have to use, because that's what I think. I think, no, I'm not going to need credit because I'm going to make this happen without it. And so that's my rationale for not hiring you and or whatever. But really, I'm being foolish.
No.
You might say
No,
I'm being foolish.
good point. You know, when it comes to business credit, it's more the manageability of it. It's not necessarily the usage. So what happens with business credit if you've got a business profile built strongly? Knocks for just once and then not very often. And so if you have this chance to either expand your business or to travel internationally, because now this global thing has opened up for your business, you're not sitting there trying to figure out how am I going to make this happen, and then also the risk of taking on the personal liability. It's there for growth, because if you see any business out there that is thriving, they have business credit. They have the resources to be able to grow and pay it back. What you want to do is just be prepared. So it's more just being prepared for whatever the future might. And so, job that I would teach you as well is not to get in over your head, obviously, with business credit, because it's the same thing. You're managing your business like you would your personal finances and not get in over your head. But it just needs to be there in case.
Great. You know, this is really interesting stuff, and I'm really glad that we're talking about it, because I would love to know, and tell me if you are someone that can tell me this, that this has made a big difference for someone, that it's kept them out of trouble, or that it's wow, you know, I never knew, and so therefore now I can grow my business in a way I never thought I could, because it really could make a difference for someone, and I'm excited to hear about it. I'm curious, Millie, whatever other points you have, you let me know, but if there isn't anything that you really want to make sure you get to the audience, I want to know how you got into this line of work. I mean, to me, it's just something really different from what I do, obviously, and I just can't even imagine. I didn't know anything about it, so I can't imagine how you did it. Did you start out as a banker or something?
No, actually, I am a teacher by profession. But I raised my children and I stayed home. So by the time they got older, it was time to go back to work. As we were thinking about colleges and what we're going to do as we ourselves got older. So I to get back to preparing to teach again. But the problem was that it was right at the time where they were starting to lay off all the teachers. I had to be creative, and it's probably the entrepreneur in me. I thought, well, what do I know what to do? So when I was putting myself through college, I worked in a law firm, and in that law firm, we did bankruptcies. So in order to help our clients recover from bankruptcy, I would work with them on their finances. And so, to get back on your feet, learn how to budget, things like that. So it's the need right now, and it was people needing to rebuild their credit. Now, credit repair has gotten a really bad reputation, and I think they're improving it. But ways to really prevent finances, and so that's really what I went to. So my clientele were normal people who just wanted to qualify for homes. So we had to go back and look at what the mistakes they had made and trying to correct them. And as time went on, they started laying off teachers. So shortly thereafter, my clientele were not just trying to qualify for houses. They were now bankers, real estate people who had built really. And when the crash came, need for credit repair again. And so the landscape of my clients changed. And that's when I realized that really, really great entrepreneurs know about credit. So that's when I thought, it just instilled in me the desire to really just reach out to as many entrepreneurs as I could to just prevent another economic collapse. You know, the economy will continue to go up and down. So as many entrepreneurs that are as educated about credit, business credit, the better it will be in the next downturn for all of us.
So it's a way bigger mission. I mean,
yes,
the more stable all of us are that are creating the new economy and the new jobs, because entrepreneurs are the ones that do that. I mean, it's not like we're the only ones, but small businesses is what builds the majority of jobs in this country, and them succeeding is important for our future. And so the more of them that know about business credit, the more likely it is that when the economy goes down again, because it's not a question of if, it's when, they will ride that out better, is what you're saying. And
exactly.
And you're the woman to teach us because you have lots of teaching experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? It really isn't. It's not a painful thing. But there's things bankers, lenders will look at. Your ducks in a row, you're gonna be just fine. Yeah, that is it. It is my to educate as many people, even if they don't go with me, that they at least know when someone talks to them about business credit that they've heard it before, and they're like, okay, yes, that's right. You know, so I just want to reinforce that because, like you said, businesses that help in the recovery and in the building of our country. So, you know, that saying, no matter whether you're Republican or Democrat or whatever, we do want to make our country strong again. Whatever way we do it. So.
Woohoo! So this is not about business or credit. This is about saving our future and our children. Yay! All right. So, you know, well, it is. And that's really what entrepreneurialism is about anyway. It's about growing dreams and freedom and creating that for ourselves and for our families and for as many people as possible, because there isn't a single person on this planet that doesn't want that in one way or another. We all want to be in charge of our own lives, and that some of us are happy to do that working for someone else, but some of us aren't. So, guess what? As usual, it's almost over. We have, I think, only about 3 or 4 minutes, Millie. So I want to make sure, is there any other thing that you want to make sure to tell people?
What? Everyone, I don't want people to wait too long. Don't wait till you need that extra 50,000, and do it now. Don't, you know, whether you go with me or you go with, just educate yourself about the possibility of what you can do to build your business credit.
And is there then, okay, so don't put it off anymore. Get it done. So she's shaking her finger at me, but you can't see it. And then, you know, is there a first step that you would recommend? The very first step, is it go to your website, or is it some other kind of research? What would be the very first step if somebody wants to begin to take care of this now?
We're in the middle of building a new website, and so it has taken down my other 2 websites for some reason, so we're fixing that. But if you reach me at millie@sterlinglegacyfinancial.com, I will give you some information on my mailing list to continue getting education on what business credit is, the do's and don'ts. And I just want to educate. So reach out to me. I'm here to help you.
Great. Thank you, Millie. So I'll make sure that your email that you just gave out is on the YouTube channel so that people can come back and see it later, and also on the Monday Momentum website. And then in the future, when the website is up, we can add that to those so that people can find it, because, you know, people go to YouTube and watch these things all night long, and they may not be here right now, but they'll be watching it later. Great. And one more thing that I would like to ask you. I'm assuming, and maybe I'm assuming incorrectly, that you have a home office. I think you're at home right now, that you work from home like many of us do. Do you have any secrets about how you make that work, or any special tips or tricks for those of us that do that you just think this makes all the difference in the world? And I know I'm putting you on the spot right now, but I just thought I'd ask.
No, you know what? I have done it both ways. I've had an office and I've had a home office. And for me, I think the answer lies within what is your personality. Some people do well getting dressed and going to the office. It kind of gives them that escape to daily lives, to go to the office and be, then come home and be, their home person. For me, when I have 5 children, or they're bigger now, but I was works better with being able to work both, blend my personal life with my office life. And so for me, it works much better from home. I still do have an office I can go to, but my most creative hours are, so I do very well at home. So I would say what makes it work is really just letting yourself be that person that you need to be. And if you're not the one who can work from home, then definitely go to the business office. And with business credit, just do it.
Just do it. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Great. Thank you, Millie. So it sounds to me like the big piece of advice around working from home is, make sure you know yourself and know your strengths, and don't set yourself up to fail. If you're not good without structure, which working from home is less structure, I think, than going to an office, then maybe it's not the thing for you. So thanks. All righty. So we are done now. Monday Momentum is over for the week, and that means to you guys that it's time to get up and go work. And what you want to work on is the stuff that's going to move your business forward. Our whole goal here is to give you a little shot in the arm, to cheer you on, and to give you some information that we hope is useful to you. We want to make sure that we offer a variety of stuff, but that it would be something that someone working from home might benefit from hearing. So we hope we did that for you today. And we really would know if you would tell us. So please go to the website and send us an email. Let us know what you like about the show, what you would like to see next, or how you've used what you've learned, because that's how we know that we're being effective. And meanwhile, it's time to get to work. So get up and go do that, whatever it is. Have some momentum into your week. And when you slide into home base on Friday, you're going to feel really good about what you did. Don't forget to come back next week, and we will see you next Monday. Thanks.
Have a great week, everybody.